Hey guys, it's your boy Easy, and today we are gonna watch 6 realities Americans discover after a year in England. I'm from Nepal and I'm here to learn about UK, you guys. So if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe and let's just start.
Many Americans think daily life in England is almost the same as in the US, but important differences often go unnoticed. What looks familiar at first can hold surprises beneath the surface. Did you know that routines Americans see as normal, or even required, are either unusual or non-existent in England? For example, consider a crosswalk in central London during evening rush hour. People step into the street when they judge it as safe, while in the US, strict crosswalk rules are followed. Or imagine seeing rows of eggs stored at room temperature beside dry goods in a British supermarket, something that would raise eyebrows back home. These details challenge what Americans often assume to be standard. This video will break down 6 everyday things you cannot do in the US but are ordinary or even expected in England. Examples are drawn from public reports, online forums, first-hand testimonials, and direct observation. The aim is to show real, unfiltered reality, not polished tourist highlights. But before we continue, make sure to
Okay, before I begin, I don't know if I should fully trust this video because I feel like it's the AI voiceover and I can't fully trust it. So you guys have to let me know, alright?
subscribe. Number 6. Jaywalking allowed. Crossing a street in the United States means following specific signals and crosswalk markings.
Yeah, we do have
Americans are
that
used to
as
waiting
well.
patiently on the curb, sometimes for minutes, even when no cars are coming, just to obey the walk signal.
Yeah, there is a signal actually. When it turns green, you can actually walk. Otherwise, you cannot. It's same in my country too, in Nepal.
In cities like Los Angeles and New York, police write thousands of tickets every year for so-called jaywalking. One mistake can lead to a $50 fine or more, and
Hmm.
most pedestrians are concerned about insurance issues if they break the rules. These habits go back decades, shaped by the belief that regulations keep streets safe and orderly. In England,
True.
the experience is different. At a busy intersection near Piccadilly Circus, locals cross wherever they decide it is safe, and there are rarely penalties unless a person endangers themselves or others. Children
Hmm.
learn to look both ways and use good judgment rather than memorizing crosswalk signals. Americans visiting England often pause, noticing that no one reacts when adults and teenagers cross in the middle of the block, even between parked cars. It is a small
So, is there no signals like we have in our country? There are two signals. Okay, one is the traffic signal that we all know, and the other is for the pedestrian. So, whenever it turns green, you can actually walk. Otherwise, you cannot. Is there signals like that, or you just judge it and walk?
detail, but it can change the entire feel of city life. In England, trust in individual judgment is valued over rigid enforcement. Crossing the street becomes
Nice.
an act of personal responsibility, with social expectations set through common sense rather than flashing signs. For Americans used to visible order, this freedom can feel both liberating and unfamiliar at first. Number 5. Long vacations the norm. In the US, a standard full-time job includes about 10 paid vacation days each year, and using even 2 weeks together is rare. The workplace
True.
culture puts work first, and employees often check emails or take calls on vacation. Some companies expect responses from staff even when they are traveling. Taking a real break is unusual, and coworkers may treat long holidays with suspicion.
Okay, Americans and we know we are. I think we're same.
Before smartphones, stepping away was easier, but modern technology keeps many on call. In England, paid leave is a protected right. The law guarantees most
What?
workers at least 28 days of annual leave. Staying away from work for 2 weeks
20
at a time is
days.
common, even recommended for rest and well being. Colleagues
Dang.
see an out of office notice
So you guys actually have work-life balance.
as a full detachment from work.
Uh,
Employers encourage people to recharge. On a weekday
this
afternoon in a
is
Kent
like
cafe,
this is very good. This is actually needed in every
it
country.
is normal to see people taking time off, not feeling pressure to stay connected. The US system often reminds older generations of decades when work and personal life were less blended. In England, using vacation time does not carry guilt or anxiety about job security, and the habit of stepping away is widely supported even in a fast moving world. Number 4. School choice flexibility. In the US, a child usually goes to the public school in their home district based on address. Many parents move specifically to be in what is considered a better school zone. Those who want other options must either relocate or pay for private school,
True.
often costing over $1,000 each year. This link between
Schools are a lot expensive in America.
school and address shapes real estate choices. Yellow buses pick up children from strict borders, and home values are still tied to perceived school quality. England handles enrollment differently. Parents list their preferences for different schools, regardless of exact home location, and local councils
Okay.
place children based on application, not just address. Some schools are popular and fill quickly, but every child gets a place somewhere in the system, reducing the stress of strict boundary lines. Walking through a commuter town on a weekday morning, it is clear children wear varied uniforms and travel by foot or on public transport to schools chosen by family preference, not
Wow.
only by zone. As a result, housing decisions carry less pressure over school access, making the process feel more open to all families. Americans seeing the system often express surprise at how much choice is available, turning a familiar rule into a completely different approach.
Okay, but isn't having school too far away from the home, not a good thing? Because as a parents, you have to travel that far to just drop your child, and I think it's hectic for some reason. Because in my country too, we often choose the school that is closest to us, so that we don't have to travel much. But you can't let your child go alone, right? Or do you have a school bus that comes? I don't know, guys. You tell me.
Number
This
three,
this was
healthcare
confusing
without
though.
bills. In the US, every doctor's visit leads to bills, sometimes paid immediately, sometimes weeks afterward. Even with insurance, a basic appointment includes a copay and the risk of other charges arriving later. Visiting urgent care can cost over $100 up front, not counting labs or follow ups. Many people avoid the doctor for routine problems, more afraid of expenses than symptoms. The experience is loaded with paperwork, insurance cards, and uncertainty over what will be owed. In England,
Healthcare is too expensive in America. I don't want to get sick when I am in America.
the National Health Service covers nearly all direct health costs.
What?
Appointments, hospital stays, and most prescriptions do not require payment at the point of care. At a general
What?
practice in Birmingham, patients simply check in, say their name, and wait. No paperwork, no payments. Costs are already covered by taxes. Average
Wow. Guys, is this true? Oh my God. Why do people even want to live in America if this is true? I would love to go to England and settle down there. The basic thing, the healthcare, which used to be so expensive in America, is so cheap and almost free in England then.
about $3,600 per person each year. Some people choose to buy private insurance for faster access, but most rely on the NHS for standard care. Drawbacks
So
include longer waits for
NHS is the National Health, it's something of the England.
non-urgent treatments and some limits on what is covered. However, for most families, visiting a doctor does not bring anxiety about bills or collections, and no one is denied care because of the price. This difference reshapes everyday decisions. For Americans experiencing the NHS, the lack of out-of-pocket charges and forms stands out, removing a constant stress present in the U.S. Number 2, drinking at 18. U.S. law prohibits alcohol sales to anyone under 21, despite the fact that
True.
other adult rights, voting, military service, legal contracts begin at 18. Violating these alcohol laws has strong consequences. Restaurants and bars card every customer, and serving a drink to someone under 21 is a federal crime. The goal is to improve public health, but the result is a system where young adults bear full legal responsibility, yet are still restricted by age. In England, legal drinking starts at 18. Adults can order, buy, and consume
No, it's the same in my country too. We are allowed to drink at 18.
alcohol in pubs, restaurants, and stores. On a Friday night at a York pub, it is normal to see 18-year-olds socializing with much older adults.
I wanted to check the video of York pub too, like the pub culture in UK. So if you guys have any recommendation, do let me know in the comments.
Handling a beer or cider with
I've
no
heard a
attention from
lot
staff
of
or
things
patrons.
about
In
it.
family settings, even younger teens may have a small drink with a meal if their parents approve. The difference goes beyond law. Alcohol is part of regular adult life, not viewed as a forbidden substance. For
Yeah, but isn't it bad if you get addicted to these things
Americans, this
from the
double
young
standard
age?
is striking. An 18-year-old in the US can carry a rifle in uniform but cannot legally buy a beer, a contradiction that
That's so true.
stands out in comparison to English customs. Number 1, eggs on the counter. In American supermarkets, eggs are always cold, displayed beside the milk. US laws require that eggs must be washed and sanitized before sale, removing their
What?
natural protective coating. This step means they need refrigeration, or they spoil quickly. From
Uh,
childhood, Americans learn that eggs left out can become unsafe. Stores
is it true?
and government agencies reinforce the rule as a health requirement. In England, eggs are sold and stored at room temperature, stacked
Yeah, it's the same in my country too. England, like England, eggs are actually stored in normal temperature. We
beside
don't usually wash the eggs.
baking supplies and dry goods. The eggs keep their natural coating, so they stay
Yeah,
fresh without cold storage. In
true.
every supermarket, it is common to see cartons of eggs on regular shelves,
Yeah,
and many
it's
home
normally
kitchens also
outside.
keep them on the counter, not in the fridge.
True.
Science backs up the practice. Unwashed eggs with unbroken shells resist harmful bacteria and last for weeks without refrigeration. Americans are often
Mm-hmm.
surprised or unsettled by this, since it contradicts lifelong food safety lessons and turns a supposed universal truth into just another local rule. The sight of eggs outside the refrigerator is a detail many remember long after leaving England. Across these differences, it is
Mm-hmm.
clear that some habits reflect a preference for written rules and visual order, while others rely on community judgment and tradition. Americans expect posted signs, strict enforcement, and formal safeguards. In England, practical decisions and quiet trust guide daily routines. Yet the very systems that provide comfort or predictability in one country can cause confusion in another. The question is not just what these habits are, but why they developed this way and what values lie underneath. Once such everyday contrasts are seen in person, they cannot be unlearned. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't
Okay. Okay, that was very interesting to learn about England. I think England and we are very similar in terms of the eggs on the counter and drinking and eating, but the other things I think we're too different. Like jaywalking, that is not allowed in my country. You must wait for the line, you must wait for the traffic signal. And the one thing that I dislike about that is when there are no pedestrians as well, we just have to wait because the light says that. So yeah, that is the one thing that frustrates me as well when I'm driving. But I think it is much more safer because you can be 100% sure that everybody is gonna stop for you while you are crossing the road. So that is the one thing that I would love to have while I'm traveling to England maybe. But long vacations, yeah, 100% needed. Although we don't have it in our country, it's needed. With like UK and England understands that people actually need vacations, so I love that. And school choice, I didn't fully understand that because although the housing market would be different, you know and there would not be any kind of centralization around the school areas. But how do they travel alone? How do the children, the small children, travel alone? That is my question. And yeah, I think I really enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you have other videos around it, do let me know in the comments. It was more like my country versus England, not about America totally, because I'm not from America. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, do hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye.